Good morning, my church family and friends. Today our passage comes out of Romans chapter 7, and our biblical theme is, our biblical theme is consequences and crying out. Here we go, let's get right into this. I want to do what is good, but I don't. I don't want to do what is wrong, but I do it anyway. Romans 7:19, hear that again. I want to do what is good, but I don't. I don't want to do what is wrong, but I do it anyway. Remember when you were a little kid and your mom always told you not to touch the hot stove? Well, there's always that one curious kid who decides to touch it anyway, just to see if it actually is as hot as mom says. Surprise, she was right. Do you have any memories like that in your childhood when mom or dad or maybe grandma and grandpa or maybe it was a teacher or somebody said, don't do this for there's a certain consequence, and we just for some reason didn't quite believe them. We just had to test it ourselves. I can remember some times in my own childhood when I just didn't quite, for whatever reason, take their word for it, and then I found out the hard way, right? It's hard to learn those things sometimes. That's kind of what this passage is talking about. It's in our human nature ever since we came into this world to follow our own path and want to make our own choices. Sometimes no matter how much we have learned from our parents or pastors or friends, we still choose sin. We so badly want to do the right thing, but it's just too tempting to avoid. So we wrestle with this human nature. And I guess what I want to say today, and I hope the takeaway from our little few minutes here together, is this idea that the temptation is never going to end, right? It's not going to stop while we're here on earth. And in this life that we live. And so because of that, we are always going to be wrestling with our human nature. So we have our spiritual nature, which is our life in Christ, battling against our humanness, right? Our human nature. And they just seem to clash constantly, right? Just continually clashing. And it's a daily battle. And this is why it's so important to take time like this to immerse ourselves into the Word, to look at passages like this and bring to the forefront the reality that this is not easy. And Jesus knew that. God knows that. And He provides us with resources. He provides us with answers. And one of those answers is through reading His Word. Another answer is through being in constant communication. Another answer is being in community together with each other, right? This deepness of community. And so I hope that you're taking in part of those daily things. The reason we do it daily is so that we are building up this armor, so we are ready and we are prepared when temptation comes our way. We don't have to just always give in. Sometimes it's just easier to give in. Well, we don't have to do that because we're prepared and we are strong and we are ready for what this world brings into our lives. And so as you talk with God today, let this guide you in your prayer time. Ask God to help you be honest with yourself about your sin. It's normal to struggle, and pretending that you don't struggle won't make it go away. You hear those words today. Pretending that it doesn't exist will not make it disappear. Confess your sin and your struggles to God and ask Him to help you trust Him more than you trust yourself. And the next time you're being tempted, remember that God's way is always the best. Hear those words one last time. Remember that God's way is always the best. I hope and I pray that those words encourage you today as you go throughout your day and as maybe you're tempted to do things that you know probably aren't the best for you or for your spiritual walk or maybe for your witness towards others. And maybe you would think about that and remember, man, God's way is better than my way. In this moment right now, God's choice, God's decision is better than my decision. And the more that we do that, the more that we empower ourselves to be prepared and ready to fight the battles of temptation and sin of our human nature on a daily basis. And a little extra today, if someone wants to go a little bit further, search for the song All I Am by Phil Wickham and listen to the chorus a couple of times. On a blank sheet of paper, make a list of the things that you've been holding on to. Be as detailed as you want. When you're done, find a big marker and write over your list in huge letters, I trust God. And the next time you're being tempted, sing the line, All I Am is Yours, from that song a few times to remind you that God's way is always the best. My friends, that is your simple truth for today. I hope that you're blessed. I hope that you're encouraged. You are loved. You are enough. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.